Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving this. This is the Hyundai Elantra Facelift, and straight away let's open the engine bay of this vehicle. DOHC 16 valve, no insulation there because the motor is actually quite refined as such. Okay, somebody put a sticker, all the residues here. You can see there's a sort of a bulge here on the hood. But at the front, there are a lot of changes indeed. The car definitely looks sharper, and the design is either a love it or a hate it, but it's something you cannot miss for sure. So you get front parking sensors now. The indicators are here below, makes no sense at all. And you obviously get air intakes. I mean, this is something to do with aerodynamics, I believe, to channel air to the wheels or something of that sort. 4 projector lights, 4 projectors in one headlight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. That's a lot. LED DRL there. The grille is now become bigger, obviously. So, you get the new Hyundai grille, which is very much like an Audi, I believe. And there is the Hyundai logo. So car definitely looks quite attractive at the front, and it also gets Hyundai's Blue Link, which means that it's a connected car. You can turn it on from the outside, rather from a remote location. You can also turn on the air conditioning for pre-cooling the vehicle. From the side, not much has changed as such. I mean, it looks very similar to the pre-facelift model. However, the wheels are new, but unfortunately the tire size is very small, and the wheels also look very bland indeed. 205 60 16s. I mean, come on Hyundai, you can do better than that in terms of a wheel design, especially what we have seen in most of your cars. Like even that one, the Grand i10 has better wheels. Coming to the rear, there are a lot of changes here as well. So the lights are now obviously revised. They look splendid indeed. I love the whole treatment. I like how they extend all the way, and because they extend and Elantra has to be written here, SX written right there, the number plate has been shifted down, and there's this black area which is finished in piano black or gloss black, giving it a sportier appeal. In fact, the whole lower half treatment is like a diffuser, but then kind of looks like an overkill as well. So that is the design of the new Hyundai Elantra. Looks fresher for sure, without a doubt. But the side profile could have been a bit more distinct, and we definitely deserve better wheels. Come on Hyundai, you make such nice alloy wheels for your cars. Why the Elantra has missed out on that? Coming to the boot. Alright, let's open the boot right away. I might be wondering, how do I open it? Well, there is nothing here to open the boot. That is shocking, right? So either you have the key in your pocket, or you can actually wave your foot, but then you have to have the key in your pocket, which I don't right now. So we're just going to open it using this button, and the boot is decent sized. It is a decent sized boot. The spare wheel isn't an alloy. It's actually an alloy. That's right, it is actually an alloy. It's the same size tire as a regular wheel. So okay, cost cutting hasn't been done there, which is a good thing. I'm saying cost cutting hasn't been done there, which is a good thing. It says pull right there, so practicality in that sense as well. Now the rear seat is decent size. The doors feel heavy, door pockets are also big enough, and the seat is a bit low. That's the only complaint I have at the rear. But because the seat is low, there's good amount of headroom on offer, and under thigh support is decent. Headroom is okay, legroom is good, knee room is good. Scooped out seat back, magazine holders, air conditioning vents. 3 people can comfortably sit in here, and there's a center armrest as well with twin cup holders. So we've got twin cup holders right there. You can actually access the boot from here as well. This thing opens, which is again nice. Now you have 3 adjustable headrests at the rear. You also get a center armrest, and you've got a lot of my laundry lying there. Fake Louis Vuitton bag, nice blazer, nice t-shirt. You're excused. Anyways, cabin is wide enough. Windows a little small. Hook, handle, no hook here. I don't know why. There's a handle. There's a light placement right there, and there should have been a sun blind, but that is missing on this vehicle. Anyways, at the front, things have again changed in terms of the dashboard design. So there's a request sensor right there. It obviously gets passive entry. It gets push button start. Door pockets at the front are big enough. Controls for the power windows, controls for the outside rear view mirrors, and you can press this to actually close the outside rear view mirrors. That's also a neat touch. The driver's seat is electric powered. It gets electric adjust, can be adjusted in a multitude of ways, and the seats are actually quite comfortable. You got a dead pedal there. This is the fuse box, so there's no storage there. Traction control button, headlight leveling button. No, not headlight leveling. You can actually increase or decrease the illumination of the instrument cluster using this button. So I'm going to put it on 20 max, and this is actually the headlight leveler. Straight inside, let me tell you, the car is a bit on the lower side, but the seats are comfortable. The dashboard design is really very nice, so plenty of changes to the dashboard as well. Can you see this fake carbon fiber sort of a finish? That looks decent. It's also having this checkered flag sort of finish in the instrument cluster. On the left, we've got a tachometer with the temperature meter inset. On the right, we've got a fuel meter inset with a speedometer outside. And the center, we've got a multi-information display, which has a lot of information to offer. So there's also a tire pressure monitoring system, a digital speedometer, and whatnot. So it's loaded in that sense. It also gets a new steering wheel, which looks nice, and the horn is also decent. These are the controls for the lights. These are the controls for the wipers. The wipers work really well, and because this is a connected car, there's a SOS feature. This is a feature, I believe, for actually getting help, I think roadside assistance. And there's another button here. Can you guys guess what this button is? But it doesn't get an auto dimming inside rear view mirror, which is beyond shocking. There's a sunglass holder here. There's someone's sunglass. Those are mine now. And there are lights here as well. Meanwhile, it obviously gets a sunroof, which is a decent size nonetheless. And press it once again to open it further. Yeah, brings in a lot of airy feeling inside the cabin, the sunroof. So there's a mirror and there's a light as well, but you have to manually use that. That is a bit disappointing. Meanwhile, same is the case here as well. So the light will only function if you turn it on. It doesn't auto turn on. Anyways, as you can see, the center console is really nice. Now you've got 3 knobs here. It obviously gets dual zone climate control system. This is for the AC blower speed. Yeah, so you can increase it like this, and this is to decide what is the temperature you want on either side. So right now this is actually synced. So press the sync button out, and then you can have different zones of climate as well. Air conditioning buttons actually, more or less. These are the controls for this infotainment system, which is quite nice. It has this blue link which I was talking to you about. Get into maps. Maps are decent as well. Let's get into media. Let's play an audio right away. Crazy, thinking about the way I was. Audio quality is nice. It actually gets 8 speakers from Infinity. Yeah, it's written here, Infinity. So really nice speakers as well. Good amount of storage space. In fact, you get a USB plug here, and you also get a wireless charging pad there. The phone starts charging. 12-volt charging socket. These are for the ventilated seats. So front seats get the ventilated function. This is for the parking sensors. So it's got front and rear parking sensors. This is for the drive mode. It's got four drive mode. So there's normal, there's eco, there's sport, there's smart. Let's turn this off. It's going to make noise. You've got twin cup holders here. This is Neha's espresso keys. They're your Maruti espresso keys. And below the front center armrest, there's also a USB plug along with storage as well. Meanwhile, the glove box is decent size. It's a cool glove box. And let's get into reverse. This is the reverse parking camera. It gets adaptive guidelines too. And this is the engine start stop button. Steering is adjustable both for reach as well as rake. Yeah, it's a manual adjust. Obviously at this price point you get manual adjust only. So practical cabin, well laid out, but overall feel of the materials isn't that premium. At least you expect that at this price point. Meanwhile, as you can see, plenty of features on offer now. However, how is it to drive? Well, let's get going right away. Alright, we're all set to go, which means getting into drive mode, shifting the mode into sport mode, turning off the air conditioning, turning off the traction control as well, getting the gearbox into sport as well, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, barely revs, and off we go. Yes, performance is now more linear. What Hyundai has done is actually drop the diesel, which is surprising. No, it's not surprising. It's shocking, because usually Hyundai has a diesel and petrol option. Meanwhile, Honda usually only offers petrol. But now the Civic is available with the diesel and petrol, and the Elantra is only available with the petrol engine. This is the same engine as before, the 2-liter unit, which produces the same 152 horsepower and 192 Newton meters of torque. Yes, 192 Newton meters of torque. What Hyundai has done is, they have upgraded this engine to BS6. Yeah, with the facelift, you get BS6 engines, or rather BS6 engine, because there's no diesel. And the overall result is that this motor is even more refined than before, but it has the same output as well as the fuel efficiency numbers as before. Overall performance, feels a bit dulled down now, and it's more linear for the whole part. However, there is no kick in the pants feel from this engine at all. Firstly, I don't even understand the point of having traction control, because no matter how hard you get into the gas, it's not going to spin the wheels at all in any way whatsoever. Yeah, low end performance has dulled a bit. Overall performance is a bit more linear now, and in the top end it does scream. Yes, it screams in a good way. It becomes a little bit sporty in the way it sounds, and redlines all the way to 6,500 rpm. In fact, the mid-range and top end is so good, or rather the mid-range is what really shines here, is so good that this car will pull to 200 kilometers per hour on the speedometer. Yeah, that's right, 200 kilometers per hour from the Elantra. Yeah, it is a 2000cc engine, and it does have the goodies on offer, especially once you push it hard and get above triple-digit speeds. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes almost 11 seconds, which is around more than actually half a second slower than before, because of BS6 updates to this vehicle. So why does the power and torque figure actually decline with BS6? Because they try to restrict the way the car pulls so that it emits lesser, and that's why performance actually dulls down. So now this car has a more linear performance, which is both a good and bad thing. Good thing is because it doesn't surprise you silly. Bad thing is because there's no excitement whatsoever in driving this vehicle. And that lack of excitement is just further amplified by the steering, which is just lifeless. Yeah, dare I say it, the Verna actually has a way better steering wheel with more feel and feedback. This one doesn't have any feel or feedback whatsoever. It just feels so non-responsive, and that is a Range Rover. Yeah, the white color looks really lip-smacking on that Range Rover. I thought ये मीडिया कार है, पता है मीडिया कार भी वाइट है. So how did this happen? Well, the Elantra has never been known for being a sporty car, and this one, in spite of the facelift, doesn't seem any different either. And that is a big problem with this car, because you know what, the overall body roll is well contained. Yes, there is some amount of roll around the corners, but steering offers no communication whatsoever. It's light at low speed, which is good, but has no weight and no feel and no feedback as you build up the pace, which is very disappointing indeed. It's also running on smaller tires for a car of this segment, which is again surprising considering cars a segment lower also have a same sized wheel. That's absolutely disappointing for me. Overall, I would say the suspension is on the stiffer side, and it feels very European in the way it drives, which is both a good and bad thing. Good because yes, it kind of offers the grip and the composure, but bad because on bad roads, especially over expansion joints and all, you can feel a lot inside the cabin. So here, you can feel that suspension is on the stiffer side, but overall the whole balance is decent enough for driving it on Indian roads. But this is not a car which should have a stiffer suspension setup, because at the end of the day, this is a car which doesn't offer much feel from the steering, or rather no feel from the steering. And why do you have a stiff suspension? Just give it a soft suspension and let it glide through the worst of roads. Now, I would say that if you're planning to buy Elantra, just get the automatic, because the manual is definitely more fun. But every time you twirl the steering, you realize this is not a driver's car, not by far. In fact, the Verna, like I told you, just drives so much better than this vehicle somehow, both in terms of feel and feedback as well. Elantra, not at all. But anyways, that is not the point. The point is that this car is priced attractively. Okay, there are 4 variants on offer, 2 for the manual, the S and the SX, and 2 for the automatic, the SX and the SXO. Whoa. Hyundai is offering a specific higher trim just for the automatic. When did this happen? Anyways, pricing starts at rupees 18.85 lakhs and goes all the way till almost 24 lakhs for this particular variant which I'm driving, the top of the line petrol automatic SXO trim. Okay, so there's the SX for the petrol manual. I've already said that. There's only one variant which is common between both the models, which happens to be the SX. You get the Elantra in both petrol and automatic in the SX trim. The price difference between both is rupees 1.13 lakhs, which isn't that bad considering you get a 6-speed torque converter gearbox, which offers decent shifts. It's not the fastest speed shifts, but you can manually take control of things here. Downshifting, it does respond as such. However, it's going to push you down again when you're actually downshifting. Obviously, it will push you down again and gets quite loud as such in a good way. Paddle shifters should have been offered at this price point. Hyundai is known to offer features which others don't. Where are the paddle shifters? Can't see them at all. There are 4 drive modes on offer. There is the normal mode, which is just a lazy mode for people who don't realize that they can actually change the modes. There's eco mode, which is basically for people who shouldn't have bought the Elantra, rather parked all that money in a fixed deposit or mutual funds. There's sport mode, that is something which you should always use. And then there is something known as smart, which actually adapts to your driving style, which basically actually makes the car drive like the normal mode only for the most part. Fuel economy is decent, between 10 to 12 kilometers per liter. No, this is not a diesel. Yeah, diesel is about efficiency. Petrol is about smoothness and refinement, where this car absolutely shines. Super refined, lower down, can't hear a thing at idle as well. the Elantra doesn't feel heavy as such. Yeah, it's actually a light car, and it also drives like that because it's an easy car to drive, easy to maneuver, easy to park, super light steering as well. Gets a 50-litre fuel tank. So should you buy one, or should you stretch more by paying around rupees 1.25 lakhs for the Honda Civic? Well, if you want a driver's car, a more modern car and a better overall car, then the Civic is definitely the better bet. But the Elantra is the more value for money pick, and definitely is the most attractive purchase in the segment if you want to save all those monies and don't really care about the driving experience. And there are a lot of people who actually care about it. The only gripe, and the biggest gripe about, and honestly I'm saying this again and again and again and again, the biggest freaking gripe of the Civic is the lack of a manual gearbox. But overall, the Elantra definitely has taken a step up, but I'm just waiting for when Hyundai will actually come up with the next generation version of the Elantra, because we've seen how they've improved with every generation, and I'm looking for that improvement in the Elantra as well, because it just doesn't have the connected feel. Although it has connected car features, it doesn't feel connected when you're driving this vehicle. So guys, this is my vlog of the Hyundai Elantra facelift. If you liked it, you know what you have to do. Give it a thumbs up, that's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye.